boy, Hennythemoor, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today, man? So, hey, we did not get a chance earlier to finish up, the stock market show. We were talking about the stock rising and falling on certain players due to their preseason performance. So, we didn't actually get a chance to finish there because I had to run back to work. But, we're going to we're going to continue that conversation. This is pretty much just part 2 of that previous live that we did. And we'll go into it into a little bit more detail, though. I'm going to include on this one everybody that had a good game, whose stock is up, not just the guys who I did not expect anything from. So I will include everybody. I will include everybody that did well. I'll include everybody that struggled a bit that we didn't see much from. And we'll also, have another category. We also have the guys who are holding steady. So there's some guys who stock are way up. There are some guys who plummeted. And there's some guys who stock stayed just about the same, if we're being honest. So we'll talk about all aspects of that. But on the way into the liquor store, man, y'all know the usual rules and regulations, man. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button, boy. Liking is free. It definitely helps the content, definitely helps the channel grow. So make sure you hit that like button on your liquor store so that we can promote and help this page grow so it can reach more people. And now that you hit that like button for your boy, man, please make sure you hit that share button. Share and listen. We are still practicing manifestation. We're trying to manifest that 6th championship for the Dallas Cowboys in the 2023 season. So drop 6s in the chat box. Share the content 6 times, right? Share the 6 Facebook groups. Share the 6 group chats, right? If you slap the shit out of the Eagles fan, and you get discount by doing that. If you slap the shit out of the Eagles fan, make sure you slap them 6 times or slap 6 different Eagles fans, man. We're practicing manifestation. We trying to get this championship in 2023. Damn, this was at the Wi-Fi monster. What didn't happen? Did my stuff go down already? Kelvin Hicks, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. I appreciate you for rocking with me. Miss So Over It, I get too. Matt Leslie, Big Benny, Rich. To all y'all good people in the liquor store showing love to the channel, man. Justin Kitchen, Bruce got the toxic juice. Eastside Hero, first boy to comment. So he a diehard, stand down Dallas Cowboys fan, man. He said, nah, I slapped 666. He said, I slapped Eagles 666 times. You dig? Then he went crazy. He said, I'm skipping. Okay. It might be the Wi-Fi. It might be the connection. Hopefully it pans out. Hopefully it pans out sooner rather than later. So let's see. Let me go on here and take a look myself. See what y'all seeing. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Chopping up just a little bit. All right. Hopefully it pans out. It looks a little rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looks a little rough. I'm not used to my stuff looking a little crazy. Hold on now. Wipe my screen. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Hopefully the Wi-Fi monster, go away, hide back underneath the bed, the closet, wherever the hell it came from. But yeah, man, so let's try and push through, see if it improves. Hey, it sure is that Texarkana shit, man. Sure is that Texarkana stuff. Because I usually have much better quality than this when I do my shows. I'm not sure why it's tweaking today. Not sure why it's tweaking, but hey, hopefully it sorts itself out, man. Without further ado, though, man, you hit the like button, you hit the share, you hit that Eagles fan upside the head, you hit the Cash App, or you hit the Super Chat. You want to participate in the raffle because we are raffling off a Dallas Cowboy jacket or pullover, for the winner. So, if you are interested in trying to get you that pullover or jacket, or you just want to support the content, hit the Cash App or the Super Chat. But let's jump into the content, though, man, because this is a conversation that we started earlier. I want to finish. All right, so let's me get this pulled up and we'll talk about it. We'll go from top to bottom. We'll go from top to bottom. We'll start all the way from the top, and we'll get through who we liked, who we disliked, so on and so forth. So boom. So again, this is HTM Sports. This is a stock market. Everybody in green, right? When you in green in business, you're in the positive. You're making money. Like these folks that made him some money. Asim Richards, come on down. Awesome Richards, I don't know how you pronounce it. God forgive me, I don't know. But you made yourself some money out there, right? He was the only offensive lineman that graded out on the top 5 in pass pro and run blocking. So Awesome Richards, 5th round pick out of North Carolina, you made you some money, right? You might be to develop into that role of either being a actual good swing tackle that can come in and fill a role if somebody goes down, or B, if you continue to grow, if you live up to the hype that they gave you when they drafted you, you might be able to be the starting left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys in a couple of years. I don't know what your ceiling is. I don't know which one you'll be. I don't know if you'll be a key backup, or I don't know if you'll be a starter. But you actually look like an NFL player. That's something I didn't expect for you, boy. So shout out to you. Glad that you were able to put that out there, man. Glad that you were able to put out some good tape. So Awesome Richards did well. We covered him. So the people we already talked about, we're gonna breeze by. But TJ Bass, y'all know he my pet cat, man. Y'all know that he my pet cat. I got nothing but love for TJ Bass. When we drafted, well, we didn't draft him, but we did pick him up as an undrafted free agent. He was the top-rated zone blocking offensive lineman in the NCAA 2 years in a row. We are running a zone blocking scheme now. We're doing zone blocking instead of your traditional gap blocking. So TJ Bass, he interested me from day one because he already was a scheme fit. He already was somebody, that I had my eyes on. Given the fact that the Dallas Cowboys were switching their scheme, given the fact that he was somebody that had good grades, he graded out very good as both a left tackle and a left guard during his tenure at Oregon. Did not give up a bunch of pressures, did not give up a bunch of sacks. He was a well-rounded, very good, offensive lineman. So I really was shocked that he went undrafted. If I'm not mistaken, he had like a 4th round grade. So that was one of the reasons why I was championing him over TJ Bass when we initially picked the guys up. TJ Bass had a higher pre-draft grade than Awesome Richards did. So that's why I was so gung-ho about, TJ Bass being the guy that can come in and be a plug-and-play kind of guy. Well, it was a mixed bag from TJ Bass, but, right, where he did excel at, he was the Dallas Cowboys' number 1 graded pass blocking offensive lineman in the preseason game. He was the Dallas Cowboys' number 1 graded pass blocking offensive lineman in the preseason game. Ahead of even Awesome Richards, ahead of everybody else that went out there. Right? He struggled in run blocking, right? He did not have a great grade there. But he's shown, that he got the most important thing down. Right? If you were wondering what's easier to learn, right? What's easier to clean up, run blocking or pass blocking? Like run blocking is the easiest thing for an offensive lineman to improve in. Right? Going backwards and stopping another 300-pound to 280-pound man for getting by you, that's rushing at you with a full head of speed, that is harder than actually running forward and hitting somebody. So he didn't have a good overall showing run blocking, but I think that would improve with time. I think that will improve, with his comfortability around the guys that he plays with. But he already got the most important thing down. So he pass blocked at a high level this last game. I just need to see him do it again. I need to see him pass block with the same, efficiency that he did this previous game, and also need to see him improve his run block. If he can get his run blocking anywhere up to par with where his pass blocking is right now, he might be a guy that can come in and be a swing guard for you. He might be able to, overtake a guy like Matt Forniak. He might be able to overtake a guy, like Hoffman that's already on the roster. Right. So TJ Bass, your stock increased. First NFL snaps in a game, and you were the Dallas Cowboys' highest rated pass blocker. So how can I not show you some love for that? Matter of fact, let me show my work. I don't like just telling y'all numbers. Right? I know that y'all believe me, but I'm not the guy that just like telling y'all numbers. I also like to show y'all what I'm talking about. So bear with me. I'm finna get this pulled up for us. Yo, Dwayne Brown, what's up with you, my brother? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Desmond Ironman, salute to you, man. Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel. Big Benny Rich, I see you. Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in, man. Make sure you hit that like button and that share button on your way into the liquor store. Hey, the original people, salute, my brother. Thank you for tapping in. And yes, we will be winning that 6th championship. I see you. I see you practicing proper manifestation inside the liquor store, man. So yeah, let me minimize this, and then let me show y'all the pass blocking grades again. All right, so boom. Pass blocking. So Hunter Lupke was the highest graded pass blocker. He only pass blocked 4 times. But your boy TJ Bass, out of the offensive lineman, he was the highest graded pass blocking offensive lineman, graded out as a 79, which is great. I know if people say like a 79 usually is just like a C, but it's great. Anything in the green, anything in a darker shade of green is really good when it comes down to the Pro Football Focus grades. Anything in green, or you are really elite, it'll be in blue. So blue and any shade of green, you did damn good. When you're in the orange or red, you're struggling a bit. So he was in the green in terms of pass blocking, graded as a 79, held his own in 25 pass. Did not allow a single sack, a single hit, a single pressure, or a single hurry. Right? So even when you adjust it, he stated out as a 69.3, still in the green. He was exceptional as a pass blocker. So that's why he ended up on this list. So he did damn good. Yo, King G, what's up with you, man? Thanks for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. Salute to you, man, and I appreciate you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. I know you're a real one. Salute to you. Salute. Keystone, what's up with you, my boy? Thanks for tapping to the channel. Salute to you, my boy. So yeah, so he did damn good, man. So shout out to TJ Bass. So hey, I was completely wrong about Awesome Richards, and I'm sort of right about that boy. I was sort of right about that boy. Josh Ball was one of your highest rated run blockers, and that's probably why the Dallas Cowboys still have him on a roster spot. But if you were to scroll down and look at Josh Ball's pass blocking grade, it was a 38.3. So as a pass blocker, Josh Ball graded out as a 38.3, which is a complete and total failure. He allowed a sack. He allowed 2 quarterback hurries. He allowed 3 pressures. So Josh Ball allowed a sack, 2 hurries, and 3 pressures in only 25 reps as a pass blocker. And then if you go and look at true pass blocking set, his grade is a 12.9 in pass blocking. So again, Josh Ball did not ball. So, and this is just pass blocking. He did great as a run blocker. He was one of the most reliable run blockers you had. But in terms of protecting your quarterback, he cannot do that. He cannot protect your quarterback. He can run up and hit somebody in the mouth, right? He can run up, push people back. He got great size. He has strength. He can do that. He cannot pass block. So he is a liability in the pass game. They said they ain't calling him no more. Shit. Yeah, Josh Ball do not ball when it matters. You were right about that. Travis, what's up, Eric? Hey, what's up with you, my guy? They've been tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. So yeah, so Josh Ball didn't ball this game. At least not in terms of pass blocking. He said the game will be replayed on NFL Network at 7. Was out of town with the wife this past weekend. He will be watching in 30 minutes. Hey, so I got NFL Plus, so I rewatched it a couple times at this point. So if you have NFL Plus, not only will you be able to watch the games, you can rewatch the entire game, and you can also rewatch the condensed version. And then eventually they will also put up the all 22 with the film of their games. So you also be able to watch the all 22 film of these preseason games if you get NFL Plus. Granted, right, I'm paying for this damn NFL Plus stuff, and they have not even added the all 22 film yet. So, you know, if the film was already up, we would have already did a film breakdown, right? We would have sat here and watched the film on the channel. But, you know, since it's not up yet, you know, we can only go off the advanced analytics and the numbers right now. But, you know, once the all 22 film is up, if it happens before the next preseason game, you know, we'll come on here, you know, we'll watch the all 22 film together, and you know, we'll just break down some stuff and see what there is to see. So I like doing the first look at the film with y'all. That's a fact, Kenny, because I got NFL Plus Premium. Yeah, man, like we would be sitting up here watching the film right now. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, there are some things that you have to see on film, you know, that you can't just tell by the numbers. Because some of these guys that are on my shit list right now, they might, like some of these wide receivers, right? Some of these guys don't have any stats. They went out there, ran routes, you know, had a certain amount of targets and no catches, right? Well, they may move from the stock down to you know, stock holding the same, because they could have got wide open and the quarterback could have just overthrew them. They could have got wide open and the ball wasn't thrown their way. So there are certain things in regards to player evaluation that you just can't, you know, decipher from the raw numbers. So hopefully NFL Plus gets the all 22 film up so we can talk about that in depth together, because there's plenty of stuff for us to unpack in regards to that. The only thing Ball can block is his prog. Oh my God, y'all was killing this man in the chat box. Y'all definitely caught some bodies, man. Yeah, y'all caught some bodies in here, man. All right, so let's move back to the list, though. Let's take a look back at the list. So, as y'all know, stock is up on Austin Richards. Stock is up on TJ Bass, given what they did in the preseason game. Jalen Tolbert. We already touched on Jalen Tolbert. Two targets, 2 catches, 29 yards, a touchdown. Excellent route running, crisp route running. He looked like the guy, he looked like the guy that had over 1,400 yards at South Alabama. He looks like the guy who set the record for most receiving yards in a wide receiver's career at his alma mater. He looked like the guy that he described when he came onto the show and did the interview with me, West Coast and Landlord, man. He looks exactly like that player right now. He looks exactly like that player. All right, I got it up now. He said, if Josh Ball couldn't block me on Facebook, y'all, you was catching bodies on Josh Ball right now, man. Oh my God. So yeah, Jalen Tolbert, you know, we all seen the growth, right? We all seen the growth. Eastside Hero, you excited about you excited about that boy Tank Dell? He played at Houston. Tank Dell ain't playing no big school. I need you to quit playing with the church's money, my boy. I need you to quit playing with the church's money. Oh, also to put this into perspective, the conference that he played in, right? T.Y. Hilton also played in that same conference. So T.Y. Hilton is the all-time leader in that conference in receiving yards, and Jalen Tolbert is the second all-time receiver in that conference in terms of receiving yards. There's a little fact for everybody. And we all know that T.Y. Hilton was a multi-time Pro Bowler, you know, true number one option, you know, when he came to the league. So don't knock a wide receiver just because of where they played at. There's been plenty of small school wide receivers that turned into 1,000-yard receivers, all pro bowlers, things along those lines. So never knock a player because of the school they played at. And of course, Eastside wouldn't know a good receiver, right? Because, we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, 3rd and 30, Hilton played in the same conference, not the same school, but he did play the same conference. So the U of H is known every damn. Listen, there's somebody from every damn school in the NFL. There are boys from Tulane in the NFL. There are boys from Arkansas in the NFL. There are boys from Cincinnati in the NFL. There are boys from every school in the world. Louisiana Lafayette has NFL players in the league. Of course they know. They in the locker room with these dudes. They homeboys. Of course they know where they partners with the school at. We ain't gonna sit here and act like the University of Houston is this juggernaut powerhouse that puts out, top 10 prospects all the time. I need you to stop smoking crack, Eastside. I love you though. You my guy. I rock with you. But we ain't finna overhype. We ain't finna sit here and overhype the damn Houston Cougars, right? We ain't finna Wasn't Case Keenum one of their best quarterbacks? We're not finna sit here and overhype him. No, we're not finna do that. Speaking of Louisiana Lafayette, John Stevens, stock through the roof. Stock through the roof. So back in the day, Philly, that's where you stay at, isn't it? I forgot all about that, man. I forgot all about that, my boy. But thank you for tapping in and showing love, my guy. But yeah, we got this boy John Stevens that played at Louisiana Lafayette. He actually played at TCU first, didn't make no noise, and then transferred. But he is excelling. And you listed one guy that's had a good NFL career to this point. His Case Keenum was a career backup, and Tank Dell ain't even played in the NFL yet. Ed Oliver is a very solid player. He played wide receiver at Louisiana Lafayette. Because of his size, they ended up moving him. They ended up moving him to tight end. And this game he excelled playing that tight end spot. Lined him up as an inline tight end. Lined him up, in the slot as a wide receiver. Lined him up out wide. And he was out there, destroying guys in the passing game. He was out there holding up in the run game when he was asked to block. He was out there holding up, and when he was asked to chip and release. He did everything you could ask him to. Right, he did everything you could ask him to. I saw no fault or flaw in John Stevens Jr., just from what I seen. Of course, I could not watch the All-22 because it's not up there yet, but I have rewatched the game multiple times. John Stevens Jr. looks good. He looks good. I will go back and evaluate him again once the All-22 film is up, on NFL Plus. But, dude is exceptional. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But we found this boy, as an undrafted free agent. And he looks phenomenal at this point. We found Peyton Hendershot as an undrafted free agent. And he looks phenomenal, outside the occasional drop and juggle pass. Right? We found Jake Ferguson in the 4th round. And he looks like a monster. So y'all tell me why we still went out there and we got a tight end in the 2nd round who has not shown up to this point. And granted, he's been injured. He's been dealing with an injury, but he has not shown me the same kind of stuff that John Stevens has shown me up to this point. I know he's a great athlete. I know he's a great blocker. But at some point, Schoonmaker's going to have to get on the field and excel. He's going to have to get on the field and excel for me to buy into him. Because no way he can be tight end number 1 as of today. Too far behind to be tight end number 2 with Hendershot out there. And shit, if we're being honest, if we're only going by the preseason game, John Stevens Jr. should be ahead of him as tight end number 3. Like, take everything else away. We're just going by the preseason. He should be, tight end number 3 right now. Because Schoonmaker ain't really show us too much. I'm also trying to, because I didn't put Schoonmaker on the stock down list, right? I didn't put him on the stock down list. But I also did not put him on the stock, holding steady list either. I didn't put him on the stock holding steady list either. So I'm still undecided about Luke Schoonmaker. I need to see a little bit more. I need to see some more, man, because right now I'm getting 1,000 times the return on investment that I'm getting from John Stevens Jr. because I didn't have to use no draft capital to get him. I had to use no draft capital to get that boy in the building. He said, "Yeah, Mike dropped that bag on that second round tight end, man. He did that." Now, granted, I pray that he eventually develops into the tight end that I've been looking for. I hope that he develops into the tight end they sold us on because we need him to. You got to get a return on investment once you spend a second round pick on a player. And for an offensive player, you will want that to be, as soon as humanly possible. Right? As soon as humanly possible. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, right now, man, you can't really have Schoonmaker over John Stevens Jr. if we're going out the preseason. If the preseason is really important, if you're going to, incentivize guys for playing good, if you're going to put stock into the preseason games to make them matter, you can't say that Luke Schoonmaker is ahead of John Stevens Jr. right now. Because listen, John Stevens Jr. has looked good in practice. He's looked good. He looks good in preseason. He looks good everywhere. So, he's doing the damn thing. He said, F him. I done shot east side. He'll be okay. He said, he been talking crazy. So, hey, it's all right. He'll be all right. He'll spin the block. Matter of fact, let me pull up the stats, in regards to Schoonmaker. I don't even know what the hell Schoonmaker did this last game. All right, so let's look at receiving. Okay. So bear with me. I'm finna pull Luke Schoonmaker's production up. So receiving grades and comparison. Okay. So let's take a look. So Luke Schoonmaker is down here. He had 1 catch, 1 target, 8 yards. Grady has a 63 on the offense. So I have questions that were not going to be answered because we don't have the all-22 film yet. Did he get open and the ball wasn't thrown him? Did he have trouble getting open? How many snaps did he even play? Like, there are some things that I need to know. All right, so he played 14 snaps. So he did play 14 snaps. 14 snaps, only 1 target, 1 catch, 8 yards. Not going off of much. Not much to go off of. Jake Ferguson, of course, tight end number 1. 3 targets, 38 yards. As you see, Grady has a 91.5 and a 90.6 in terms of overall offensive production and as a receiver. So he did good. I said we need to see some more. Yo, Michael Lockhart, what's good with you, man? They've been tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. I appreciate you for stopping by and rocking with your boy, man. I appreciate y'all. So, hey, man, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in, man. Hit that share button on the way in. Hit that Eagles fan upside the head, man. And if you want a chance to win that Dallas Cowboy jacket or pullover, man, make sure that you hit the Cash App with the Super Chat. But again, I appreciate you for rocking with your boy. So let's see. Yeah, so I need a lot more. I definitely need a lot more. You know, from school at this point. Said 15 likes, 16 in the chat. Okay. Yeah, 15 likes. Yeah, I only got 16. I got 16 on YouTube and 2 on Facebook. Okay, cool. He said what he said. He said, "What's the report on Micah Parsons?" So the Micah Parsons stuff. Don't Micah. He only got kicked in the leg, right? He got kicked in the leg. Got a small little cut on his leg from getting kicked, and he's fine. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to worry about. They wrapped him up. They just pulled him to be safe. So don't worry about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is going to be good to go. You know, just pretty much did to be cautious. So I'm glad nothing happened. I'm glad that Micah Parsons is fine. And you know, we'll go from there. We'll wait to see what happens, but I'm pretty sure nothing is going to come from it. But great question. All right, so let's move along. Let's go back. So let's move along to Deuce Vaughn. Right, like I said, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this one this time. Rain, sleet, snow. We're gonna get through this one. He said, "Yeah, the line can't go down." Like, yeah, Michael Parsons is going to be fine. Now, the Dallas Cowboys may sit him out more, right? Not risk him until week 1. You may see less of Michael Parsons in training camp and practices and stuff. But you know, like, I'm fine with that. Michael Parsons is a veteran at this point, 2-time All-Pro. He doesn't really need that many reps. I think he'll be fine. So shout out to Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn stock has shot through the roof. I went from saying that Deuce Vaughn would probably be like a gadget player, special teamer, third, fourth back. Dude might be running back 2 right now, as of today, given the production he's had and what everybody else has not done. Rico Dow, did not look great. He did not look great. Well, I ain't gonna say he did not look great, but he didn't really produce the same way that Deuce Vaughn did with the carries that he had. When you look at what Deuce Vaughn did with the amount of carries he had, and you look at what Rico Dow did with the amount of carries he had, you can see who had the better showing. Rico Dow had 6 carries for 21 yards. That's about 3.5 yards a carry. No touchdowns and a fumble. Rated out as a 56.4 overall. Deuce Vaughn had 8 carries, 50 yards, average 6.3 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Graded out as a 75.1 as an offensive player and 73.5 as a runner. So again, if you're going to make the preseason games, the deciding factor. If you're going to make the if you're supposed to be making the preseason game, the deciding factors in these camp battles and these roster battles, right now through one preseason game, you should give the nod to the guy that had a better showing. So again, and I'm not saying that Rico Dow was bad, but 6 carries for 21 yards is not as good as 8 carries for 50 yards. 3.5 yards a carry is not as good as 6.3 yards a carry. 1 touchdown, from Deuce Vaughn is better than 0 touchdowns. 0 fumbles by Deuce Vaughn is better than 1 fumble. So I'm just saying, as of right now, even if they're a little, concerned about Deuce Vaughn's size. Just right now, by what he's put on tape, what he's shown you, right? He should be in consideration for that gig. Because granted, listen, the Dallas Cowboys don't even fool Rico Dowd like that. If they loved Rico Dowd, they wouldn't cut him. You know what I'm saying? Rico Dowd got cut and then had to get added back to the roster. If they really loved Rico Dowd the way they say they do it, he would not have got cut. Let's just keep it real. If they really love Rico Dowd, he would not have got cut. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah, listen. I'm not saying that his stock should have been low. Yeah. Y'all know how I feel about fumbling running backs. When you put the ball on the ground, I can't trust you. Regardless of how good you look and everything else. So again, I'm going to give him another opportunity. If he holds on to the ball and doesn't fumble, if he doesn't fumble the next preseason game, then we can have another conversation. But he put the ball on the ground again, man. We gonna have a real conversation over here in the liquor store about Rico Dowd. Hey, what's up with you, Miss Regina Green? David tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you for coming in and rocking with your boy. Oh, and by the way, we know that we put a lot of stock in the running backs pass blocking. Altogether, through 43 passing attempts, the running backs pass blocked 7 times combined. They pass blocked 7 times combined on 43 passing attempts. So, I'm just throwing it out there. They might be moving towards running backs being out on routes on third down. I'm not sure this is a preseason thing, but they didn't ask them to pass block all too often during the course of that preseason game. They didn't ask running backs to do that too much. We'll get to Malik Davis when we get to the stock down people. All right, so Deuce Vaughn's stock is way up. Kelvin Joseph. I tilt my hat to the kid, man. Yeah, they shifted from a traditional gap style blocking scheme to a zone scheme. But this is an added wrinkle that they move towards more 5-man protections. If they move to more 5-man protections and they utilize the running backs more as receiving threats on third downs and stand in blockers, then that's a different story. We might be viewing this wrong, because if that's the case, then Deuce Vaughn, has much less to worry about. Only got to pass block once or twice throughout the course of the game. You can run, these Texas routes and get these mismatches on these linebackers out the backfield, run these wheel routes and do whatever you want to, or you can move out to the slot. There are different things that can be done on third down for running backs with Tony Pollard's and Deuce Vaughn's skill sets. We seen it with the Saints. Alvin Kamara is their number 1 running back, but they never asked Alvin Kamara to really pass block. He's going to be out there catching passes on third down. He'll be running routes. So I think that the Dallas Cowboys play to the strengths. If they play to the strengths of of these running backs, then I think they'd be good. But yeah, shout out to Kelvin Joseph, man. He had a phenomenal game. He is a guy that y'all all know. Y'all know what I was saying about Kelvin Joseph. Y'all know I tried to get him shipped to Timbuktu. Y'all know. Right? Y'all know that I was not very high on Kelvin Joseph. But he's been playing better, man. Nothing but some pretty solid reports, from out of training camp for him. They said he been playing well. Glowing report from Bones Fossil about how he been doing on special teams, and he was able to go out here, man, during this preseason game and show that he's more than just a special teamer. He had great coverage. He had pass breakups. He was out there hitting. Yeah, he was out there. He did his job, man. He did everything you could ask of the man. So I'm very proud of Kevin Joseph. You can tell he's been putting in work. You can see the growth in him as a player. So, hopefully, it can be a building block for him to grow on. He can carry that over to the second preseason game and continue to, show why he was a second round pick. Right? You can see there's a reason he was a second round pick. He got skill, he got talent. It just got to translate. Not sure what his rap career is like, but he is playing like an NFL corner at this point. He's playing well, and I'm hopefully he can continue to strive and build on that. So shout out to him. Stock is way up. Now I'm gonna have to defend Maji Smith because there was a couple of Rudy Poo reporting motherfuckers that said that Maji Smith wasn't doing that. Maji Smith was out there taking on double teams, got triple teamed. He ate up space, right? And most of the time he handled the double teams perfectly fine. So in terms of Maji Smith doing his job, he did his damn job. Did his job against a All-Pro, right? Because Sheriff, their guard is a former first team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, right? Maji Smith, held his own. Maji Smith forced double teams. Maji Smith allowed the linebackers to come clean and make plays. Do y'all really think that Overshown will look that good, if he had to fight a damn guard to get to the running back, right? Or do you think Overshown or Devin Harper or Jefferson would be able to make plays in the backfield, right, if Maji Smith wasn't eating up space, right? So Maji Smith did his job. He did his job. So, shout out to Maji Smith. Great first showing. Of course, there is room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. But, as a first round pick, he did it. He did his thing. He did his damn thing. Overshown, another guy that did his job. He was everywhere. Matter of fact, I need to pull up Overshown's stats real quick. Because I feel like he was even better than I remembered. But let me pull up Overshown's stats real quick, man. Because dude was out there feasting. So let's take a look. All right, so Overshown, in terms of run defense, he had a tackle, 2 assists, 1 stop when he met the guy in the hole, right? So he was accredited for a stop, graded out as a run defender as a 64, and again, it's still in the green. So that means he still excelled. And once you get down here to the yellow, it's a little tricky. But he did his job in terms of run defense, coverage. All right, pass rush. Let's do pass rush real quick. Overshown is a pass rusher, graded as a 57. He only had 2 pass rushing reps at that too. But, versatility, they still felt comfortable enough to bring him. All right, so now let's look at his coverage. All right, coverage. He had 18 coverage snaps, graded out as a 70. He was targeted 2 times. He allowed 2 receptions, but he only allowed 12 yards. Right? He only allowed 12 yards. The longest pass that he allowed was 7 yards. So damn good showing by DeMorvian Overshown. Graded out pretty decently in coverage. Got a stop in the run game. as a run defender. They even felt comfortable enough to bring him as a blitzer. You said they accredited him with 6 tackles. Let's see. Okay, so they accredited him with three solo tackles, 2 assists, 2 stops, 2 targets. Okay. I guess because they had it divvied up in between passing. So this is overall sign. All right, so overall he graded out as a 70 overall. As a tackler, he graded out as an 80.9. Run defender is 64. Pass rusher is 57. Coverage is 70. So he went every damn where, basically. Solid every damn where. So 2 stops, 2 targets. Only allowed 16 total yards. All right, so good showing from Morgan Overshown. His first preseason game out. I like him. Played at Texas, the Texas kid. So I gotta put on for the South. And hey, that's great. That is great, for a young kid. Now I don't know how he's gonna get on the field, but I definitely will find. I would definitely find the Cowboys. I find a way to get him out there. Maybe he's your third linebacker when you're in your base defense. All right, because right now, your top 2 linebackers are Leighton Vander Esch and Lamone Clark. Right, those are your 2 primary linebackers who are out there when you're in your big nickel. So maybe Overshown can be the other could be the weak side or the strong side linebacker at this point in his career. But I think it's going to take some time before they allow somebody else to be the middle linebacker over Leighton Vander Esch, just because there's so much of a mental aspect to that job. I think they're going to stay with Leighton Vander Esch for a while. I think they're going to stay with Leighton Vander Esch. So moving along, man. So let's move along and talk about the next person up on this list whose stock is through the roof. All right, so we talked about Overshown, Isaiah Land. Everybody show Isaiah Land some love, man, because Isaiah Land was one of your best pass rushers out there. Not gonna lie. Isaiah Land was one of your best pass rushers out there overall. He said LVE would not be back next year. They need these young guys to show out. If the young guys ball out at me. Oh yeah, I definitely can feel that. I definitely can feel that. It's worth keeping an eye on too. The Dallas Cowboys like getting cheap, and what is cheaper, right, than rookie contracts? There's nothing cheaper out there than rookie contracts. So if they can get away with having a team full of young linebackers, damn well they'll do it. If they got athletic, young, hungry linebackers, I think they'll be willing to move on for Leighton Vander Esch if given the opportunity. But Isaiah Land, dog. Actually, I had a stat here for y'all good people. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. That's not it. Nope, that's not it either. There we go. All right, I found it. I be having so many little thumbs in here, like it'd be hard to find some stuff. So Isaiah Land with the Cowboys' best pass rusher versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. He finished with 4 total pressures and a 26.7 pass rush win rate upon first review. So Isaiah Land was out there showing his naked ass, so to speak. He was out there clowning. Now, he did not get a sack. But he did apply pressure. He was winning against his individual matchup in front of him. So, that's all you really can ask for from undrafted free agent first time out against other players, against other NFL players. So I'm happy that he got the reps. I'm happy that he was productive with the reps that he got. Hopefully he'll be able to continue to add on to that. Really, only thing I need him is to, do this again next game out. Don't flash as a pass rusher then disappear, the next week. Because the one thing for a pass rush, you need consistency. You may not always get a sack, but you need to always be putting pressure on the quarterback. You need to always apply pressure. You need to always, speed up the game for the quarterback. Those are some things that can translate game to game to game. Right? Michael Parsons doesn't get a sack every week, but you got to account for Michael Parsons every week. DeMarcus Lawrence does not get a sack every week, but you got to account for DeMarcus Lawrence every week because of his tenacity, because of the pressure he puts, on the quarterback. Because he gets there, he damn near gets there all the time. Rico Jones, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love to the channel. I do appreciate you for rocking with your boy. So those are all the guys whose stocks are up. That's everybody whose stock is up right now. Right, and we didn't even get this far last time around, so I'm proud of us. So now we're going to have the hard conversation about the folks whose stock is a little down. Right, we're gonna have to have that conversation about the folks whose stock is down right now. But before we do that, one last shout out: Asen Richards, your stock is up. TJ Bass, your stock is way up, my boy. Jalen Tolbert, you played so good, you might not even have to play the next preseason game. Your stock is through the roof. John Stevens, you like that for real. Deuce Vaughn, man, I didn't know you would really like that. I did not think you would have me questioning if you should be running back 2 after one preseason game. But damn it, here we are. Kelvin Joseph, proud of you, boy. Keep on putting that work in, my boy. Maji Smith, you did your job. Don't listen to none of that negativity or bullshit, that muck raking. You did your job, and you look good doing it. DeMorvian Overshown, you gonna mess around and start at this rate. And Isaiah Land, I always knew it would be hard, for a pass rusher to get onto this team because we're super deep at edge. But you're playing your way into a roster spot. You're playing your way into a roster spot. So salute to these young men. They went out there and they did their damn thing, man. So everybody show the young kids some love, man. They did their job. Now let's talk about the folks that did not do their jobs, because we got to talk about it. He says Josh Ball and Eastside stock has plummeted. Hey, I be using Dofu too when it's not in my area. When I can't see the game, I use Dofu. All right, so let's move along. So let me get this pulled up. So these are everybody whose stock is down in the red. Let me slide this down. So stock down. Malik Davis, your stock is down, kinfolk. I hate to tell you that. Nahshon Wright, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Marino Cropper, Hunter Luepke. Josh Ball is not on here because he never had stock. He listen. We already knew that Josh Ball wasn't shit. We already knew that Josh Ball wasn't shit. So I'm not gonna add him on here. I ain't finna waste my ink, my characters or anything on Josh Ball. So Josh Ball, we already knew that he wasn't shit. We're not concerned about Josh Ball. Right. So let's talk about it. Malik Davis. We're gonna start with you, kinfolk. We're gonna start with you. I'm talking about Marquise Bell. Holding steady. I already felt like he was already either going to be safety 4 or 5. So he's right where he's supposed to be. He's right. Marquise Bell is right where he's supposed to be. I did forget Thomas. That's one person I left off. So hey, charge to my head and not my heart. But Wanye Thomas, you're up as well. You made noise out there. You intercepted. You know what is supposedly a top 10 quarterback, like the national media tell it. You know, you made plays all over the field. You held up in coverage. You know, you had runs. You did your run fits. You did everything you're supposed to do. So Wanye Thomas, your stock is up as well. I did not take the time out to give your individual love, but Wanye Thomas, you out there you showed some stuff. Well, let's start with Malik Davis, man. Malik Davis stock is down for obvious reasons. So let's pull up the stats. So let's pull up the stats, dog. So let me go back. Boom, boom. All right, coverage. All right, rushing. So let's take a look at Malik Davis. So Malik Davis had 4 carries for 3 yards. That comes out to 0.8 yards. So that's not even full yards. So 0.8 yards an attempt. As an offensive player, he graded out as a 46.3. As a runner, he graded out as a 56.8. Granted, he did have a 5-yard run, but of course, the other 4 rushing attempts yielded nothing. He actually lost yardage on his next, on his next 3 rushing attempts. So, not a great showing. And most importantly, he gave up a sack in blitz pickup. So he did not show up as a runner. He gave up a sack in blitz pickup. So I know very limited work, but he did not look good in the limited work that they gave him. You know what I mean? So I came into the season saying it should be Malik Davis's job to lose. And right now I don't see him, in the running. I don't see how you can have Malik Davis over Deuce Vaughn, who you actually drafted. I don't see how you can have him over Rico Dow, because despite the fact that Rico Dow fumbled, he did look more competent as a runner than Malik Davis did. Right. So as of today, August the 15th at 7:14 Central Standard Time, Malik Davis is the low man in this running back competition. Outside of course, Ronald Jones, who is injured and going to be suspended. He's not going to make the team any damn way. So outside of the guy that is obviously going to get cut, Malik Davis is the low man in regards to this. He's the low man. I hope that he can turn it around. What I need to see from Malik Davis this upcoming week, I need to see him actually get some positive runs. I need to see him not miss his blitz assignment. I need to see him maybe make a play in the passing game, hopefully. But, I need to see more from Malik Davis, because as of right now, 4 yards and 4 attempts and 3 yards ain't nothing. We can't live with that. We can't do that. All right, so let's move along, because we already said that Malik Davis needs to get his shit together. Right, Malik Davis needs to get his shit together. So let's go on to the next person who needs to, get their life straightened out. Nahshon Wright. And Nahshon Wright, man, he is injured again. And that's one of the reasons his stock is down. because Nation Wright is not going to play this preseason game. It's hard for you to get a job when you're not able to clock in and go to work. So granted, I like Nation Wright. I like him a lot. I like him a whole lot. But he has to stay healthy. And when you're in a roster battle, missing time, getting injured, that affects your stock. Outside of that, let's also, just take a look at how he graded out as a individual player too. We all know that Kelvin Joseph had great marks, as a coverage guy and everything else. He had great marks in that preseason game. Let's see how well Nation Wright fared. So let's go to coverage and see how Nation Wright did in coverage. So Nation Wright in coverage, 21 coverage snaps, graded out as a 56.2. Only allowed one catch and one target, but it is still a receiving percentage of 100%. So I'm not really sure, why his grade is so low. Not really sure why his grade is so low. Was not even responsible for giving up a touchdown. But they got him graded as a 56.2. Not sure if I agree with that, but I also don't have the all 22 to back me up on this. So I'm just going to take their grade at face value for now. I'm going to take their grade as face value for this moment in time. So coverage, there where he stood at, where he was. Run defense. Let me see. Where is Nation on here? So our run defense graded out as a 55.1, which is still slightly worse than what Kelvin Joseph graded out. He graded out as a 60. He graded out as a 55. So we're talking about a roster battle. Heads up. Kelvin Joseph graded out better than Nation Wright did. We already know that we have a super deep cornerback room. Super deep cornerback room. So right now, given the fact that Kelvin Joseph has value as a special teamer, he went out there and performed good in the preseason game. Given all those things, it is hard for me to see how Nation Wright is ahead of Kelvin Joseph right now. So, he losing that battle. Hopefully he can get healthy, but you can't really do too much to help yourself if you can't get on the field. Right? You can't do too much to help your case if you can't get on the field. So hopefully, he heals up and he's able to come back for at least the preseason finale. But definitely stock is down just based on the injury and based on not outperforming Kelvin Joseph. Just based on those couple of things so far. So let's see. So let's move along to the next person. So we already said that Nation Wright got to get it together. We already said that Malik Davis got to get it together going into this next preseason game. So let's see. Jalen Brooks. Now, I think I'm more disappointed than I am just really down on him. Because we all seen what Jalen Brooks has been doing throughout the course of training camp. He's been out there going crazy. Right? Same thing with Jalen Marino Cropper. So both the Jalen's stock are down. But I'm like, there's an opportunity for me to move them off of here. If the all 22 film comes out, and they're out there running routes and they're wide open and they don't get the ball, that's not on them, right? if they're running their routes correctly, they're getting separation, they're getting proper depth, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, and they're not throwing them the ball, they're not looking at them, that's completely different than, hey, I didn't beat my man, I couldn't get open, so that's why I didn't get the ball. So right now, these two can actually change. Once the All-22 film drops, then I can really touch on them a little bit more. Yo, Lil Tyler, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, my boy. I appreciate you for rocking with me. So yeah, man. Once the All-22 film is out, then I could properly say what happened to them. But there's a litany of things, like for a wide receiver, the worst part about it is you can't throw yourself the football. I could be wide open 40 yards. I could be wide open 40 yards down the field, but if you don't throw me the ball, or if you throw the ball, 5 yards out of bounds and not even give me a chance to try to make a play on the ball, that's not on me. I did my job. So, I definitely think there's more to it. But I need the All-22 film. We ain't got it yet, unfortunately. But, we'll figure it out. But once it is there, then we can go play by play and just look and see who did what, who excelled at what, and we'll go from there. And then, so yeah, I'm not gonna put too much stock on it yet until the film's ready. But Hunter Lukey got to do more. Really didn't get opportunities either, but Hunter Lukey, you got to do more. Now you pass block good. You had 4 pass blocking reps. You did good. It looked like you won on all of them. You were the highest graded pass blocker that the Dallas Cowboys put out there. Linebacker, running back, tight end, doesn't matter. You graded out as the highest pass blocker. But you only did it 4 times, so it's not big enough of a sample size for me to say you really liked it. 2, in terms of handling your running back responsibilities of getting positive yardage, you didn't do too much of that either. You had a very good run, followed by getting stonewalled a couple times. So let's go to it. Let's go to see what his rushing statistics were from this previous preseason performance. So Hunter Lukey, 3 carries, 6 yards, average 2 yards a carry. As a runner, he graded out as a 59.1. As an offensive player in general, he graded out as a 58.2. So no. Now he did have an 8-yard run, which also means though that he had negative yardage on the other 2 runs. He either had negative yardage or no yardage on the other 2 runs. So very positive run, but I need more than that. So Hunter Lukey, if you want to get off this list, the Dallas Cowboys got to give you more to do. They got to give you more to do. Yeah, they had quiet games, but I gotta do the legwork to find out why they had quiet games. So I don't want to just come up on here and shit on them, without actually having full and proper context. See, he said Hunter looked lost. He didn't play D2, but he didn't play in the big version of the D1. He didn't play, like D1A. He played it like, I ain't gonna call it like lower league, but he didn't play like the super big conference or anything like that. But I do like him, like I see the potential. I just need to see him put it together during the course of a game. Got to get it together over the course of preseason. So yeah, man, but those are everybody on my stock up and stock down list. So we actually did get through it. Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love. But I do have some private engagements to take care of. So I do thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you hit the share button on the way out. If you missed the live stream, make sure you catch on the replay. But again, thank y'all for all the love and the support. And I'm going to get at y'all, folks.